Good morning. I've decided to do some of the even problems for you so you can get a look at how to do them. Please watch the other videos for the actual lessons, but I'm going to do the evens so that if you have any problems with them, you can possibly look back at this and it'll help you. All right, this is number 4. This is supposed to be an E. So first let's locate angle E. Angle E is right here. So directly across from angle E is the side opposite. It's like you're shooting an arrow and you're hitting this. So this is the side opposite to E. Then the side adjacent to E is the side that's next to it, but it's not the hypotenuse. So this is the adjacent side. And then, of course, the hypotenuse, as you know from our studies, is the side across from the right angle. So the sine of an angle is opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine of E would be 6 over square root of 61. And for this exercise, I'm not going to worry about you rationalizing the denominator. The cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, so it's going to be 5 over root of 61. And the tangent of E, the tangent, as you've learned from the videos, is opposite over adjacent. So it's going to be 6 over 5. And that's that for those types of problems. Jump to number 18, because the other ones are all fairly good forms of this. Just remember, so, ca, toa, sine opposite over hypotenuse, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent opposite over adjacent. This, however, throws in something you probably haven't seen either ever or since grammar school. We need to change this into plain old degrees with a fraction to plug it into your calculator. Because you know you can find any sine, cosine, and tangent just by putting your calculator on degrees mode and then punching in sine of and punch in the angle, and out will come your sine, and cosine and tangent are the same way. So 30 seconds is half a minute. So this is now 7 degrees, 18 minutes, 18 and a half minutes. Now, how many minutes are there in a degree? Well, 60. So you would take 18.5 over 60 and make a fraction out of that. And of course, all my calculators are not on my desk. So you would say 18.5 divided by 60, and you get 0.31. So 7.31 degrees. And then you can just go tangent, push the tangent button, make sure you're in degrees. If you've borrowed one of mine, like this one, it was on radians. So tangent of 7.31 will give you 0.128. So 0.128 is the answer to that problem. Now let's look at number 20. 20 is asking for angle Q. You are looking for the sine, cosine, and tangent of angle Q. So first locate angle Q right here. So the side opposite would be 4. The side adjacent would be 7, and the hypotenuse is root of 65. So the sine of Q is 4 over root of 65. And in this exercise, they want you to rationalize. So multiply top and bottom by the bottom. And you end up with 4 root of 65 over 65. I hope you can see that. 4 root of 65 over 65. And then the cosine of Q is going to be 7 over root of 65. and multiply top and bottom by root of 65, and you get 7 root of 65 over 65, and my tangent of Q is opposite over adjacent, so it's 4 over 7. Okay? Now let's jump to number 30, where it says sketch a triangle, the right triangle, and find the decimal approximation to 4 decimal places of the other 2 basic trigonometric ratios. Well, this requires a little bit of thinking. If the sine is 0.5, and let's make this angle A, okay? And we'll make this angle B and this angle C. So the sine of A is 0.5. Well, we can make this a fraction by saying it is 1/2, or you can just do 0.5 over 1 to do these. So that means opposite over hypotenuse. So we go across from A and put a 1. The hypotenuse would be 2. And then just use the Pythagorean theorem to find this. Now, if you remember your 30, 60, 90 triangle, you don't have to use the Pythagorean theorem. But let's pretend you don't remember it. So 1 squared plus x squared equals 2 squared, because the hypotenuse is always on the side. 1 plus x squared equals 4, and you would solve this as square root of 3.